And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Come on. That's including the ice wall, by the way.
Destiny arrives all the same.
Shout out to the Nordics, baby. Shout out to the Grays.
What should I say?
Come on, baby.
I am.
There's one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We're stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's Grove? From my studios to yours, the longest intro in the land. But that's okay, we gon' get it one way or another. Come on. Oxnard time, baby. Five, 4, 3, 2. What we got? Beans and bologna. Come on, baby. Stand tall or not at all.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Stop crying about what went wrong. Because God will take wrong
3,
and make it right.
2, and 1. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's Groove? From my studios to yours. Happy Father's Day to you, you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and everybody, man, that's a dad out there. Salute to all of the future dads. I got my bag over here, man. Look what I done got for Father's Day, man. Oh my gosh, boy. Oh my gosh, boy. I got some draws, baby. Hey, let's go, baby. Hey, and you can't leave without the socks, baby. I got socks and draws, baby. So let's go. Shout out to all of the Father's Day gifts, man. And look, you can never, ever go wrong with socks and drawers, right? Let me say this again. You can never, ever, 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 ever go wrong with socks and drawers, right? Yes, indeed. So, and that's how the kids got there, too, by the way. I keep the socks on and take the drawers off. Oops.
Stop crying!
Hey, that's just for what it goes, man. Y'all wasn't expecting that. But shout out to them, man. This how they got here, man. These Lauren in London. Appreciate them, boy. We had a great time. Shout out to them. Yeah. So when they get older, then I put out my request, you know? Yeah. Come on with it, man. So never, ever, ever, ever. And that's how they got here. Socks and drawers, man. But the drawers had to come off. I kept the socks on. I'm the socks guy, you know. Let me know what type of person y'all are. Do y'all keep the socks on or do you take the socks off? Oh, my goodness. Dallas Cowboy hard here to say he's sliding everything off.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
All right, man. Let's get back to the news at hand. Appreciate everybody, man. If you can, hit that like button, share this content, and let's continue to grind and shine, baby. You know, no, James, you didn't walk into a Diddy party. No way. Oh, my gosh, boy. Cool. Come on, man. Well, boy, My boy over here says Dallas Cowboys hard hitter says he keeps the damn Timberland shoes on and everything else come off. All right, man, back to the news at hand. The Cowboys had this weekend off, by the way, and they decided, I don't know, let me know if they do this in their culture, but one decided to jump the broom. Let me know, do y'all jump the broom of the persuasion Caucasian culture? I don't know, but Jake Ferg jumped the broom, and him and Haley Cavender, I think her name is now Haley Ferguson. They have jumped the broom. He's married now, so he got a ring during the offseason. Now we just need to get him another ring during the season, man. Hey, this could have been what's on Ferguson's mind, right? So this year going into the 2026 season, he's playing for a different reason. Can't wait to see Jake Iceberg Ferg get things going. Hopefully all is well. Brent Dave, what's good with you? Congratulations. Put 87 in the chat, by the way. Member for 22 months, civil level 1. And Brandy, I know you got the news. I know you got the information for the nation. And that is that the Cowboys will be in Oxnard next month. And I know that you're going to be there too. So can't wait to see you again. Dallas Cowboys are returning to Oxnard, California for the 2026 training camp. It will be at River Ridge Playing Field. That is at the Marriott Residential Inn as well. Rookies and veterans are scheduled to report on the 28th of July. So let's be ready to get out there. Now, let me just say this. It's open to the public. Free public practices as well as the fan events running throughout. But I'm going to tell you, on days that they got the parking there, there ain't nothing free about parking. To park is going to be anywhere between $25 to $30. So if you guys can help a brother out, HBO me. HBO me and help a brother out, because I'm going to need your help, because I'm going to be out there as long as the funds can allow. And normally I'm out there for about a week plus, right? I don't know if I can do 2 weeks this time around. Funds are slim, and that's because of the economy is very low right now. But if you guys can, any dollar can make it holler. If you guys can just give me $1, that would help. If everybody give me $1 off of this live stream, boy, I'll be happy. I ain't too proud to beg, but we got a super chat. Brandy 117 Abel. Let me know what that means, though, by the way. She states, no days off. Congratulate Ferg. Come on with it. I got you on the drop. I really appreciate you so much.
No days off.
Yeah.
No.
Close them doors. Yeah.
No days
No days off.
off.
Now, I thought that I would add this into the mix because of the simple fact that it's along the subject matter. We talked to this guy about 2 years ago, and his name is Jay Ratliff. Let me pull this up if I can. Appreciate all of you guys for rocking with me. I'm going to fast forward to the part that I can show, and I thank all of you guys for rocking with me on this beautiful day. Let's get things going the best way possible. Frenkel and Frenkel Law Firm. Be sure to check out FrenkelFirm.com. And with that being said, if you ever slip and fall at work or you're an offender bender, call 817 or 214, and that's all threes with FrenkelFirm.com. Let's get it.
Clarence Hill, All City Dallas, your host, Cowboys and Chill. We talked about the problem on the defense.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that money on your mind, baby. Let's get to this before
at
we go any further.
Nitro One's at $3,307.05. I still want Max.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, Wanza, we got a Raider guy on the team named Charles Snowden. Right. Ain't calling him Max, but that's the max that they can go for right now is a Charles Snowden, right? So it is for what it is. Let's get back to this right quick. Appreciate y'all so much.
Problems at
Thank you for your support.
tackle. And who do we have here?
A defensive tackle.
Not just a defensive
Come
tackle.
on.
Former Pro Bowl defensive tackle, Jay Ratliff in the house. Thank you, Jay Ratliff, for coming out and showing up. Cowboys have not valued the defensive tackle position since you and Hatcher left. I don't think they've had a dominant well, they haven't. I don't even have to think about it.
Interior.
They definitely have not had a dominant interior pass rushing type tackle since you guys left. What do you see as a problem? As a defensive guy, I know not being able to stop the run, struggling against the run for a long time now.
That was a major problem.
And it's still a major problem. And then the worst run defense in the league. How frustrating is it as a defensive performer to watch that?
It's very frustrating. D-line wise, I don't see it. I don't see it, especially in the interior D-line. Like they're constantly getting pushed back. They're guessing on the plays. You can tell that it's not film recognition or spending enough time watching films, formation recognition. None of that is there. And losing your place on your rush lanes when you're rushing.
Yeah.
You know, like you got a running quarterback.
Right.
Destroy this defense.
Wow.
Right.
Talk to me about this, though. You know, as a tackle, nose tackle, someone who penetrate, get upfield, whether it's a one tech or a three tech, and shoot, you played at both of those spots, man, and you was able to penetrate. What is the number one thing? Get off or pad levels?
Both. Simultaneous. You really have to just get away from everything and just focus on just your technique in the game and a lot of film study.
Right.
Your formation is going to tell you everything. The depth of the back is going to tell you everything. The split is going to tell you everything. So you'll be able to play that much faster and more confident. It's more than just being big and strong or whatever. Like, hey, you may bend a little bit, but you're not going to break. You're not going to give an inch. You're going to fight and claw every inch. Like it starts with you.
Right.
So Jay, what's the heaviest you played down inside in the trenches?
The heaviest?
Yeah. Pause.
Like
yeah.
295 the heaviest, but anywhere about mid-season, I'm typically about 278.
You can't be a great 4-3 defense without a bad motherfucker in the middle.
You got to have a big one technique. Like one can hold down the fort. And then a three technique.
And a three
is a dog.
Right.
Hey, he going to hold down the point and be able to pass rush at the same time.
Look at all the great 4-3 defense. They always had a pass rushing tackle.
Yeah.
Three technique. Yes.
Yes.
Three technique.
I mean, when was the last time the Cowboys had a 3 technique that could get to the quarterback?
I think about Jason Hatcher was the last guy that can give you double-digit sacks.
Right.
He was the last guy. The last of the
that can give you. That did give you.
Yeah. And then we had a tweener. I go down the line. We had a tweener in Tyron Crawford, who was a but he had 7
but
sacks.
He was a defensive end. He was a
played inside.
Right.
They put him at 0 at times, and he was able to get in there.
He was playing everywhere.
The competition. Do you need that in your life? Because a lot of times when you quit playing, you ain't got nothing to do. You're trying to find something. You're trying to find that same thing that gave you that edge before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're trying to find whatever gave you that edge to keep you going every day. You need, is that part of that thirst?
Yeah.
No doubt. That was Jay Ratliff, Jeremiah Ratliff, who we spoke to about 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. And it was still kind of like prominent as relates to, or prevalent as relates to our interior that the Cowboys haven't focused on. But to be fair, now we got Quentin Williams. Now we got Kenny Clark in them. So now that interior should be an area where we can look back on and say, okay, we can get a guy with productivity. I think Jay had about 8 sacks one season from the interior, while Jason Hatcher had about 12. We haven't had that in many of moons. But if you listen to him properly, anytime you sit down with somebody and their arms are the size of your legs, right? No homo, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Like his arms the size of our legs up there. And he was able to lament the fact that when you have your front You got to be able to know the splits. You got to know the zone. You got to be able to shoot, get upfield, keep your pad levels low, and take on those individuals. And now that we got teaching involved, we should be able to see these things materialize, especially coming from this defensive front when you have a Kenny Clark, when you have a Quentin Williams. And now that you look back at this, the Cowboys, we all got to understand that the principle of him being in this system came from Bill Parcells, right? You know, all of the impactful ingredients in the last 20 years on defense came from when Billy Parcells was here, you know, or Williams, whatever his first government name is. And William Parcells is funny. But it is true that now we're going to convert back to a 3-4 defense, and it's a long interview. We spent about an hour talking about, you know, the things that he was able to do as an undersized nose tech, 1 tech, 3 tech, or what have you, and being converted over to a 4-3 and all of that. Who remember that conversion rate, right? We went from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Now it's the inverse, right? It's the inverse. Now we're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. And we need that nose tackle or that person that going to play inside the 3 to shoot and get upfield, to be a penetrator. And if they can't do that, then they have to be of some reverence of two-gapping. And we will find out how much of a mixture Christian Parker's defense will be all about. And I can't wait to see this defense materialize into something great. Now, before we do that, Cowboys Nation, I know exactly where we were at last year in the secondary room, right? There's really 2 rooms. The secondary room and the front 7, right? Your linebackers are a part of the front 7. I want to know from you all, where are you guys placing the strength of this team now? Is it the front 7 or is it secondary? I need to know. Look, this is how we can leverage this. Put CP if you feel like our secondary is now the strength. Or, and I hate to put all of the chips on him because he's just a specialist, but I hate to put it on him. Put BT, which stands for, you know, Brandon, you know, Tucker, if you feel like the front 7 is better, right? So it's either or, CP or BT. Let me see in the chat, Cowboys Nation. Can't wait to see how all of this will work out. Appreciate you, Tyrone. Appreciate you. That's my guy, Tyrone Church, man. Boy, where you been, dog? Where you been? Shout out to you, man. And let me know how you been going and everything. Everything been good? Yes. Y'all help me out. Keep the engagement up, man. I know it's a random day on a Monday, but if you guys can do that, we supposed to be doing Super Friends today. These guys better have their scheduling together because I really want to really talk about this Super Friends. We got the perfect marriage now. Ooh, Marcus Dixon. Yeah, okay, yeah. More for front 7. Yeah, BT. Okay, ooh. If our front end is better than our back end, knowing that we got a Jalen Thompson now, knowing that we got a Caleb Downs now, that's a good feeling. Dinkins says CP, front 7. Oh, my God. If this front 7 can be so much better than the secondary, right? Oh, it'll be scary for us in a good way. I don't know what happened to my wrench. This is well, you might have changed the name, man. Who this is? DC for life. You know, hey, we do the great reset every off season, so you got to get your work back up, man. You know, everybody, I'm snatching wrenches and everything. So if we do the great reset like the Earth does, right? Once everybody figure out what's going on, the Earth do the great reset. You know, yeah. I'm telling y'all too much secrets. You can't miss those live ones. Appreciate you guys, the poet. Appreciate you. Let them know. And my guy JV boy, appreciate you, man. What time is the Super Friends tonight? I got to figure it out because we in the group chat. I confirm Bad Dog confirmed, and Louis T confirmed. But we waiting on the Eagles guy, Lord Brunson. So he need to speak up or forever hold his peace, or I'm going to talk bad about them boys. All right, so this is the conversation. We got about 5 other topics. Let's get right to it. How do you feel about Schottenheimer after mini camp? This is mini camp before we go into the full camp. All right, let's listen to it.
Did you accomplish everything that you intended to before heading off to training camp?
I feel really good about it. Phase 1 is what we call, scheme development. We're putting in a new defense. It's them hearing the language, and some of the language gets tweaked and changed the more we get into it, and the players have some involvement in that. And obviously we're evolving on offense, but, getting the chance to go through the scheme, the cut-ups. Phase 2, when you get on the field, is more skill development. So you're hitting the fundamentals and things like that. One of the things I thought that we did a really good job of, the coaches did, is that we had a action plan for all the players, rookies, veterans, where each coach, sat down, came up with a list of 3 things that they felt like the whatever said player could improve on. And not only the 3 areas that they wanted to improve on, but how they were going to do that, whether it's change of direction, cone drills, footwork, different things like that, but how. And then they came in and they met with the players, and the players, had some of their thoughts, and so they kind of did it collectively. But I felt really, really good about that. OTAs are hard. You see some of
That's what she said.
Our colleagues and my peers, canceling the mini camps and stuff like that. It's just hard to practice. It's just hard to practice, with some of the rules that we're restricted under. I think we got a lot of really good things done.
Coach Schottenheimer.
All right, so Schottenheimer, Hootenheimer, prime timer. Where are you guys feeling about him and what Toxic Tom at? Because I know Toxic Tom is going to say what he feel about Schottenheimer. Is he still the water carrier, or is he his own man? I gave Schottenheimer from a 5.5 to a 6.5 from one year to the next. I like what he's doing with the players that's on this team, being able to be in the fold with those boys, being in the mix. That's everything. I like what he's been doing. To me personally, if we are to gauge, we had Wade Phillips, we had Jason Garrett collectively for 13 years, 13 seasons. We had Big Mike McCarthy for 5 years here. Now we have Schottenheimer going into his 2nd season as the head. He can't be the head HNIC. Well, he's the head coach in charge. We can do it that way. My bad, guys. He's the head coach in charge, so we need to figure out what is he, what he's going to do, what is 2nd year, what adjustments did he make. I get it. Maybe Matt Eberflus was thrown on him, and he couldn't really move around like he wanted to, because there's always that veteran guy that said, hey, I was a head coach before. You need to listen to my way, young pup. So how do you guys feel about that? And let's get things going. Shotty is from Common Sense. Says he's an 8.5. Shotty only fighting for what he truly wants. Right? Okay, I feel you with that. Because on his side of the ball, on the offensive side, right, while he was learning and training or what have you on the job, because this is what we do here in Cowboys world, everything was good but the red zone category. We was ranked 17th in the National Football League. So if Schottenheimer goes into this season, right, still ranked at 17th, or some other number fall off on the offensive side of the coin, we moving furnitures, baby. Yes, this is from Lisa, I believe. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate you so much. And we got Brandy with a super chat of $1.99 for your mind. She says, messy boots, Clarence Hill. Yeah, and I think they proud themselves on being messy too, by the way. But shout out to you for that super chat. All right, the next subject matter we're going to talk about and unfold will be the latest edition.
Cowboys did make a few different signings yesterday, including Denzel Mims, the wide receiver from Baylor. This is also another one of the things that you'll do right before you go off to, or right when you're done with mini camp, before you go to training camp, because people go off, get their time away, and during that dead period, you want to wrap up any loose ends that you feel you have on your roster, including Charles Snowden. He's an edge rusher. Charles Snowden, who actually was a guy who has started a fair amount of games the last couple of years. I had no idea he was out there on the market. He's not going to be a top-tier edge rusher or anything like that. This isn't a guy who's going to come in here and just wreck shop for them, although James Houston came in and contributed in a surprising way. But he's somebody who started 18 games the last 2 years for the Raiders. Last year, in fact, he had 3 sacks, 2 passes defended, and 5 tackles for loss. So just some added depth there that they can have on the defensive line as they look to clean things up. The Cowboys did make a few.
All right, so Denzel Mims is more of like, can he play special teams? Shout out to him. He's going to be fighting for a role on his team, which we can all say that, man, it's a slim chance, bro. Is you on thin ice already coming into the mix. Even though you're the veteran guy, it's still one of those real slim, shady type of chances of him making the team. And we've been banging the table for a long time for Denzel and them to be able to show up and give us something, and it's just never materialized, right? So now that the Cowboys are pretty much going into another way,
James Butler was chasing him, and
let me pull. Oh, here we go.
You need to.
All right, so here we go right here. Now that we got that going, let me pull up some film and some footages so we can get things going from here. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. And we're going to pull up this tape. And I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to go over this footage here with Charles Snowden. Appreciate you guys so much for your support. And these sorts of things. So with Charles, as we look at this, I hope all is well. Keep in mind, he is an edge rusher that can play 3-4 and 4-3. He's better.
You need to hear.
He's better on when we talk about containment and outside and being able to be in that spot. He can do that. He's 6'6.5". And he got decent size to his frame, but he need to put it in a little bit more. Speed to power, he plays through the echoes of this one right here, causes this one to be a pressure. And before anybody say anything else, here's what I'm going to say. When you start talking about tackles for loss, when you're talking about tackles for loss, I count them. Let me go back to the screen. I count them as sacks. I count tackles for loss as sacks. Let me say this again. I count tackles for loss as sacks, as equivalent. Just because it's a damn running back opposed to a quarterback, that means that you got behind the LOS, right? And you got to said quarterback or running back. I think that in the National Football League, they need to emphasize tackles for losses as pluses, right? Not as something that like, oh man, he had 8 tackles for loss. No, that's like 8 sacks. That's how I look at it. And that's how football players look at it too, by the way. Let's get back to it over here. Appreciate everybody, man. So with that being said, this is him on the outside rushing. He don't have a plan of attack with his hands, but he managed to use his frame to Dikembe Mutombo that football. Yes, indeed. So if you look back at it, we need all of this. And we're not asking Charles Snowden to swindle it around or swab this around and be Charles Schwab around it. Schwab, however your financial advisors would say, and do all of the stuff. We want him to come off the bench and do this. We want him to come off the bench. Look, no set of plan of action, but he know the passing lanes. Get that hand up in there and bat that ball down. He's a rotational guy. Of course, he's not a max because we can't max that high for a Crosby. We can only max to Charles Snowden, right? All right, so he causes the quarterback. He drop back in coverage. That's what you want your 3-4 outside edge guys / linebackers to do, is to drop back in coverage and cause someone else to create that thing, as we call that right there. And if you look back at this play right here, I just want to show you guys that he have no plan of action that could be worked upon. He didn't know what to do. He's standing up too high. allow the opposition to get inside his frame here. You don't want, if I'm the opposition, if I can get inside your chest, I can control you. Even if I grab and hold you, the aficionados will not call that because you got your hands inside, not outside. So when we start to think about that, this is a pressure. One of the pressures we would love for the Cowboys to do against the 49ers, he blitzes off inside, and he put his hands and body parts all over Brock Purdy. But shout out to Purdy because he's still able to get this ball off. But I count all of this. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And he squeezes and swindles down in there. And, yeah, Charles, Edward Charles Snowden. Yes, indeed. And look at it. He just moused them guys. Shout out to the wide receiver to be able to still connect and catch this. But, man, this pressure right here, keep in mind, the Raiders don't have a Quentin Williams. The Raiders don't have a Kenny Clark inside. We do. So this is going to be even better for him. And he kind of got a little tip on the ball here, but it wasn't enough to slow down that pass right here. This is him off of the edge here. And what I'm looking at is, what's his plan of action? You would want him to dip shoulders now. He won. He got half body, dip shoulders, bend. But he don't do that, and he's able to put just a little fingertips on that ball, I believe, and the pass was still completed, but it was a bang-bang play. Shout out to Charles on this one, and that's not Uncle Charles. Okay, he drops back in coverage off of this one, make a complete open field tackle. Those are things that you want your edge rushers to do in this style and brand of defense. Now, this one play got me right here. I said, you know what? There's hope in his career because this bend, if he can perfect this, and I know he's been in the league for over 4 or 5 years now, but if he can still perfect this one, I would love to see. Watch, shoulder dip, bend, get small, and get to the quarterback. Get small and get to the quarterback. I like that. If he can be taught and educated to use that frame, this is the bendable play. Look, when Taco was here, I've never seen not one play like this. So there's a little hope right here, Cowboys Nation. If he can just consistently bend around and use his frame to get small, to get to the quarterback, play half body, don't do the full body stuff, and use a plan of an action to attack, man, those 4.5 sacks that he had in the last 18 games can turn to at least 8. And I'm not trying to put any hopium into anybody's body. I'm just saying for what I'm able to see that there's a little light of potentials here. And this clip is shot last season, so it's not like it's many moons ago. So he still have that bendability, and he just got to be put in position to win. And that's what I like. Okay, off to the coverage right here because you're going to be asked to do that in this style of defense. So it is for what it is. Off to the edges here, tap him on the shoulder, get back into the flats. That's the only thing that I don't like about 3-4 defenses, but it creates that you got to cover every blade of grass when you have good personnel. This is him, hand in the dirt. If he bends right properly, he probably would have made it home a little bit closer. You know, Dallas Cowboy hard hitter says faith of a mustard seed, right? That's all we got with him. This is definitely not a Max Crosby, right? This is a Max Snowden, a Charles Max Snowden. Y'all got to be specific when y'all ask for certain things. Somebody said, I want the edge rusher from the Raiders. Y'all wasn't specific. Y'all got to be specific when you ask for the grand creator for things, and y'all wasn't specific. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is him down and stopping the run here. So that is for what we can see on Charles Snowden. And I can say this all together, ladies and gentlemen, that maybe, just maybe, he can be one of those guys that can help us out down the stretch. Is he an end-all, be-all? No. No, that's just how it goes. They need to bring back Tony Dorsett's cleats. Yeah, they do, man, for all of that slipping and sliding. Ask and you shall receive is from you guys. Yes, indeed. And we ask for the wrong things. Appreciate it. All right. So does mini camp actually matter?
It is a tough thing for them when they get into this period because it is what did Dan Campbell call it? The pajama party. But it can make it difficult at times to execute what you want to do. So you have to get creative. That's why I never took it seriously. The McCarthy complaint about the COVID year. Well, we were learning this thing. We had all these restrictions. You have all these restrictions every year that you have to work around, and everybody has to get creative with them. And so that just told me you were not creative enough in general that you couldn't work around.
I do think that being in a COVID year as your first year might be a little bit more difficult.
Ron Rivera made the playoffs doing it for Washington.
Yeah.
And that was Ron Rivera. You think he's like giving them some big tactical edge?
No.
All right, so here's my cut up on why minicamp is meaningful. If you are still in your 20s, put 20 in the chat. If you from 20 or if you from 19 to 29, put 20 in the chat so I can get my age going, Let me know in the chat. I need to know. I want to know. If you are in your 20s or your late teens, like 18, 19, put 20 in the chat. And I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah. Rose says, be careful what you ask for. You ain't lying. Yes, indeed. Be careful. Big Amish, appreciate you for jumping in and being part of these type of conversation. Appreciate all of you guys. If you are in your 20s, Riverboat Run, hit the iceberg. Okay, you don't have to put your actual age if you don't want to. But Beno is 23. Mm-hmm. Right. Who else we got here? Anybody else? Are you the only one? Well, you the only 20-year-old? What my demographic is, man. What I'm talking to 40 years old, 50 people, 50-year-olds, 60? Where y'all at? Where the 20 folks at, man? Come on, man. They did. Yeah. Let me see where y'all at. Help a brother out. Only got one person, Toxic Tom, wishing he was in his 20s. When Toxic Tom, I talked to him, he's a wise guy, right? He's wise. No offense to anybody that's in their 20s. Dang, Elijah Robinson, boy. I guess I got a bunch of people that's in their 30s. If you're in your 30s, put 30 in the chat, man. Jeez. If you're in your 40s, put 40. If you're in your 50s, put 50s. God dog, boy, I only got like 2 20-year-olds in here. All right, so with that being said, the brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25 and a half from what I'm hearing. All right, so what happens here, if you take a group of guys that's getting fistful of cash and they are talking about millions of dollars in the off season with no direction, with no guidance, with no possibility of being able to be in the same room at the same time with the veterans plus the rooks, they wouldn't know what to expect when it's time to hit up Oxnard. Without OTAs, which means organized team activities, it goes beyond what's on the field. It goes also, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we need to do from a body mechanics. This is what you're picking up now in the playbook. But by the time we get to July on the back end, you need to know this. Can you comprehend? Can you be able to figure out this and that? That's why minicamp is so important, because there's something about being able to see yourself out there on the field with the silver and blue and running around and being able to have that responsibility to get that regimen going. There's a lot of people right now saying, hey, my New Year resolution, I'm going to have the 6-pack. I'm going to be in the gym, X, Y, and Z. And most gyms in January, it's hard to get in there. It's easy as hell to get in there in February and March. Them people fell off, right? So you got to have that momentum, and you got to have that motivation, and you got to sometimes see other folks getting it out of the mud. And that's why training camp, mini camp, any camp, OTAs is very important, so that you can see someone who's been in the league for more than a year do things, or been in the league for more than 4 years to do things and still have that grind to shine. So yes, mini camp is very much so important, because you got to have the mini before you get to the Boy, y'all ain't hearing me today, man. Y'all ain't feeling me right now. You got to be faithful. Oh, my goodness. Boy, y'all don't want to hear me today. You see what happened. You got to be faithful over the few things, and I'll make you ruler over many, right? Or I'll make you ruler over big things. If you good with the small, then you'll be good with the big things. So what I'm saying is that these individuals need to be out there in minicamp, in training camp, in OTAs, whatever camp that's need to be possible, so that if you can be faithful and be in that space during those times, when it's time for you to do the bigger things, you will be okay. Yeah. And just like when you get to the main camp, when you go out to Oxnard, if you challenge yourself, then when it gets to the preseason, you'll be ready. And then if you do the right things in preseason, when it's time for you to get to the regular season, then you'll be good. And if you do the right things in the regular season, when it's time for you to get to the postseason, then you'll be good. And then if you do the right things in the postseason, when it's time for you to get to the big old dance, yeah, it'd be like walking in the park. It'd be like swimming, you know what I'm saying, in a 5 feet pool, it'll be easy for you. But if you don't do those things, you will drown in water that's 5 foot nothing, right? I can't swim. Dog, just stand up. The water goes to your knees, man. So that's just for what it is. You got to want it bad enough. Come on, baby. Sure. Yeah, slap your neighbor and tell him, I want it, right? No. Come on.
Stop crying about what went wrong.
Come on with it.
Because God will take wrong and make it right. God will take pain and make it right.
Man, I can go home now, Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Where them baskets at? Come on with it. All right.
This is sort of like a State of the Union or a roster inventory of sorts, and just kind of feel where the confidence meter is at for all of these different spots. So we're going to do the defensive side of the ball first. So as it stands now, on a scale of 1 to 10, your confidence meter, RJ Chappie, in the defensive line.
Oh, man, see.
I kind of talked about
really
this
wish
all
they
the way.
brought back Clowney.
I got you. I got you.
7.5.
7.5, that's strong. And I think we have a tendency to forget when we're talking about how we can.
Really
we have a tendency to forget. Quinnen Williams is still there, and he's a freak. He's one of the best defensive tackles in football.
Yeah,
and he was a difference maker when he got here. Right. Confidence meter. We just talked about the defensive line. Still a lot of praise there. It seems like everybody's really pleased with where things stand there. Linebackers right now. How much does the green dot thing? Well, before we get into that, I guess confidence level in the linebackers in general. A 2.
Yeah, the confident meter in the linebackers is. I'm more out of all of the groups. And I know we split the front 4 or the front 7 up between each other. Out of all of the groups, the linebacker group is like my most uncomfortable situation. Right? It's like that is the biggest.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
It's that linebacker room. Like we know we have an opinion or a gumption of what the DB is going to do, right? We have some evidence briefly of what Rashawn Gary can do, right? But it's the damn linebacker unit. It's not like D. Winters is a home run name, right? It's not like he is the guy that we can sit back and say, all right, cool, where the little photo at? Yeah, it's like he's not even proven, right? He's not even a guy that you can say, okay, I'm going to rest all of my worries on that, right? So it is for what it is. And that is one of the hardest parts of this particular situation. Now, being better than Kenneth Murray ain't a solution for us, man. That ain't nothing we can go home and say, yeah, man, I got this going on right now. I went from a Hyundai to a Honda. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So we got to see how it perform, you know. And I heard them new Hyundais can roll, right? So we ourselves got to figure out a way to see whether or not this will work out for us all, and that is the linebacker room. We don't know yet, right? So that's the only thing. We can talk about the possibilities of this damn front seven, as well, front four, but that linebacker room is still the unknown. I know we are hoping that Overshawn can overly stay healthy, right? He just got married, right? We the married boys now, you know, everybody jumping brooms and getting married. But those are things that we can all say, yes, but we still got to see it, right? We know what Quentin Williams, we know who Kenny Clark is, right? We just don't know what this damn linebacker room going to do.
And am I going to find that's the worst confidence grade you have on this team, or is there?
It's low.
It's pretty bad. But is that the one that you would also feel like
it's the least? It matters the least to me.
Mm-hmm. They've talked like it's the least important to them. Like they've talked about being able to insulate the linebackers and kind of lessen what they need to do.
My concern with the linebackers is what exactly kind of, I don't know, you know, what kind of player is D Winters? You know,
I think a solid one.
And then the other one obviously is I love him. I don't know what we're going to get from Overshawn.
He did not last year, even when he saw it. When he came back from the injury, even when he saw it correctly, he read it correctly, and he was one step slower than he had been the year before. Secondary, which will lump in as corner and safety, which I imagine your confidence level is different in corner and safety, but together as the secondary, what's your confidence level?
4.5.
Out of what?
If I said it was just corner and just safety, what would those numbers be?
Safety be higher.
Much higher or just a little bit?
A little bit.
I mean, I got more confidence in the safeties than the damn DBs at this point. Deron Bland, foot still a situation. Revel, it's hope that his legs and everything is doing for what it's doing, right? It's legging. Who else? Kobe Durant. I like what he can do, but we need to see it not just in a Costco sample size, because he was one piece that fit many in L.A. land, and they let him go, right? And think about it. We're happy, and I'm not taking this away from what we're getting, but we are happy about leftovers from L.A., right? So that's just one of the things. But you just got to go with the process of trusting Christian Parker, Ron Smitty, D.A., Coach D.A. as well. So the safety room, last line of defense, if it's Jalen Thompson, Malik, and Caleb Downs, if it's the last line of defense, I'm trusting them boys, P.J. Locke and all of them boys, versus from what we've seen out of our cornerbacks, right? But to be fair, I still believe that the cornerbacks this season, from a scheme-wise and a philosophy-wise, right? If I can put it in there twice, is that they're going to be better. How much is the case that we all going to have to find out.
But
I think safety's where I feel the best. But yeah, corner's obviously been a concern.
I would give the safeties probably a 6.
Okay.
Corner's probably a 3.
Why so low on the safeties at 6? Is it just because Downs being a rookie?
I just don't know. I mean, it could be an 8. Yeah. Downs, I don't know.
So I 100% feel better about the safeties than the corners right now. As a whole, the secondary, I think that health is the biggest question. This is sort of like a state.
Yeah. So shout out to them. I just feel like Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark, they're my cores, right? If you don't have your core together, it don't matter how big your arms are, and if you skip leg day and all of that stuff, you hit them one time in their gut, they drop into their knees, right? No matter how physically they may look, if your core ain't together, you going straight to look, all this stuff, if you can't do like this, you feel a little rock in them, you know what I'm saying? I would lift my shirt up, but I don't want y'all to feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying? But if you can't feel no doggone core, it'll be the same thing. You'll win a few games, but when it get to the postseason, we running the ball all over you. You win a few games, but when it gets to one of those teams that know how to score and operate, it's a shootout every time. So you got to get your core together. Leg day, get them together too. Them legs in the middle side. Look, get them together. Everything else will work its way out. Top 3 safety duo in the league. D Shift, appreciate you, man. I just bought a Demo jersey just from Toxic Tom. It's actually just a sweatshirts and pants. Oh, Lord. Hey, I get that joke, man. Leave my guy Demo alone, man. The Marvion Overshawn, for those who don't know, by the way. All right, so with that being said, let's see what they say off of this one.
Which do you have more faith in? D Winters coming in here and just being dropped in and being able to start consistently, Jayshon Barham moving back to linebacker after he didn't play it last year, or Overshown being healthy? Which of those do you feel best about?
D Winters.
Just coming in here and playing like he has played? Yeah.
He seems like...
yeah. I agree with them. D Winters, I need for him to play like the Winter Soldier on one of them Avengers movies I seen. Well, I forgot his name. He was Captain America, friend or what have you, Winter Soldier. I need for him to play like that. Yeah. I need Overshawn to stay healthy, and if he can do that, he's going to get a big payday. Or they might just franchise tag him. You know how it goes and say, hey, prove it again, huh? David Mulugeta, how you like those apples, huh? Yeah, you going to come see me again, huh, David? Huh? That would be crazy. I wouldn't mind it, though, if Overshawn get like 8 sacks and some like 3/4 fumbles and a pick, 6 and some other stuff, a lot of PBUs, and we sitting here like, damn, look what we got over here, you know. I would love that. I would love that type of stress, you know. Yes, indeed, I would love that. Bucky, shout out to you, Toxic Tom. We need D Winters to play like Bucky. Bucky was a bad mama jammer boy, and I need that. I need it. I want it. Let's get it.
You know, we've used this phrase a lot. He seems like an adult.
Yeah, and he is not going to be a Pro Bowler, but he is not going to be a liability.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Which do you have more?
Let's get it, man. I have a little faith in him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the most important veteran player in their second year with the Cowboys? There are a ton of options. I would assume, though y'all yesterday gave me different answers, Quinnen, Kenny Clark, George Pickens, and Javonte would lead the way. Joe Milton, James Houston are in the mix as well. But there's quite a few options.
Look at Kevin trying to push James Houston in there. Guys, how important is James Houston to this defense? I mean,
hey, there'll be one game again.
Who needs Micah, right?
Micah who?
So initially my first thought...
Hold on, for those who didn't catch that joke, James Houston, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, had more sacks than Micah Parsons. It was crazy. And people like, hey, man, he's better than Micah Parsons. I'm like, hold on, y'all got too much dip on the chip for James Houston, but he was hovering around having more sacks than Micah Parsons up until that week 5 or week 6 or something like that. We do have some developing news on Micah Parsons. According to his brother, it hit breaking news this past weekend, is that Micah Parsons is expected to be out longer than expected. So that they're saying that anywhere between 10 or 12 weeks now for Micah Parsons. Now, as a good football guy, this is just my thoughts, regardless of Micah Parsons, the football player, but Micah Parsons, the human being, right? I want him to just slow down. Chill. You can't conquer everything in one off season nor another season. And when you're trying to get revenge, you might as well dig 2 graves, right? One for them and yourself. And you're not the Undertaker, too, by the way. You can't get yourself up out of that thing. Yeah. Where I'm at. Here you go. Yeah. You got to take this ass whooping from the sideline when we play Green Bay. Because if you try to rush yourself back and be this phenomenal player, We might have a situation where Tyler Guyton put them hands on you and get his lick back. We might have a situation they try to swing you inside and Cooper Bebe put you on your backside, right? Or to a degree, Terrence, I cannot believe it, still might have some reserves left for you, right? So what I'm saying is take your time. Football stands for not for long. You got your bag. You got $47-something million. Don't rush yourself. Take your time, man. Because you're going to take an L regardless. What week we play Green Bay? Is it week 5, week 6, week 7, something like that? We winning regardless. I'm just letting y'all know right now. You know.
Was George Pickens. But now I realize, like, this is an important season for him, and that offense is something I care about, but the defense needs so much more. Quinnen, I think, is the most talented dude right now. I think Caleb's going to eventually take over that spot as the most talented dude on the field. But Quinnen's the most talented defensive player, I think, at the moment. I think it's Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is going to set the anchor for this defense.
Who's the most important?
So the most important piece will always be back, like I said, the core. We need the core to continue to be it for what it is. The most important piece on offense, of course, is Dak. He's the most important piece. The second most important part on this defense is the unit. I mean, on the offense is the unit, the offensive line. Offensive line. I'm going to give you the orders right now, and then I'm going to jump back to the defense. Appreciate you, Richard. Man, thank you so much for sending stars. And be sure to join the Kick app. I see all of the kids are on the Kick app, so I'm on the Kick app too, you know what I'm saying? Got to keep up with the youth. So be sure to go to Law Nation Sports on Kick app and kick some butt over there. The most important player on the team in general is Dak. The most important player on the offense is Dak. The most important unit on the offense is the offensive line. The second most important piece for this team. Shout out to you, Def King, on the Kick app, kicking ass, man. I appreciate you, man. Is Javonte Williams. Yeah, I said it. It's Javonte Williams. Then the wide receivers, then the tight end. So Dak, O-line, running back, wide receivers, and then all the other stuff ancillary. Dak, offensive line, running back, then wide receivers. If you can run the ball, it opens up play action. It opens up one-on-one to the outside. If you can run the ball, especially with the offensive line, you can maul folks. You can beat it out of them. I'm talking about the opposing opposition. And nothing is more demoralizing than we finna run the ball and we run that damn ball down your throat. Let me say this again. When Roger Staubach won, the most important thing was Roger Staubach. Of course, defense. We ain't talking about defense yet. But the most important thing was Roger Staubach. That offensive line and then Tony Dorsett. It opened up for Drew. It opened up for Tony Hill and all of those other boys. But if we talk really about the 90s Cowboys, the most important three things was Troy, that offensive line, and Emmett. Then it was Michael Irvin. Yes, you need the playmaker that he is. Yes, you need to be able to catch the ball in between the splits like my guy Jay Novacek. But nobody's putting up 22 touchdowns almost a season. Nobody's putting over 1,500 yards on the ground. And nobody controlled the clock like that damn offensive line and Emmett. It's a hard. You can have all. Look, You can have the Randy Mosses of the world, the T.O.s in a prime, the Megatron. You can go get Darkseid and all of these boys, as they call themselves, Destructicon and all of these damn wide receivers. But if you can't run that ball, it don't matter. Yeah, Moose part of the offensive line. Look, Moose. Moose was part of the offensive line. He was a specialized weapon, you know. Moose was a movable offensive line, right? You move anywhere on that part. Sometimes I don't even look at Moose as a running back. I just look at fullback. I just look at Moose as a movable offensive line. And we got the T-Move version of that right now. His name is Hunter. Yeah, so you got to understand that. And for the life of me, the Cowboys been so fixated on replacing Michael Irvin. That what really happened. That what really got up into us, because we missed the fame that Michael Irvin had. When Michael Irvin broke his neck, his back, and all of this stuff was laid out, no offense, but he was laid out like Family Guy. The Cowboys did everything in their power to replace that. Went and got a Joey Galloway. That didn't work out. They went and got a Roy Williams. They went and got all of these. They went and got T.O. They went and got Dez Bryant. They went and got all of these wide receivers, man. It never panned out. It would put nice stuff up on the boards and stuff, but the core is always the core. We got rid of all of those picks for Joey Galloway, and the first thing the Seattle Seahawks or the Chickens did is they took our pick, go look it up, and they went and got Shaun Alexander. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be our pick. Yeah, I would rather, if I had a time machine, I would rather have Shaun Alexander versus Joey. Shaun, even though his running back's lifespan is very short, but Shaun took that team, that Seattle Seahawks, with Hasselbeck. What's his name? Matt? Or was it Charles? Whatever his name. Matt Hasselbeck to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh my God. 3rd and Sam. The Cowboys should have been more focused on Aikman and Emmett. Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. With all due respect to the great Michael Irvin, I get it. When that injury happened, Jerry was doing like this. Like, I need to be able to sell tickets. I need to be able to move the ball. And Rocket Ismail, he's 5'8". I don't know if I can do it with him. Chase. Yes, indeed. So that's why I'm looking at it from that aspect of it. But now that we fast forwarding, what's the most important pieces on defense? I'm going to tell you that front seven, baby. We won Super Bowls with S before Deion got here. Probably would have won another one if we had better coaching, but and that was a PI, by the way, in 1994. I'm still not going to let that go. But if your front is good, everything else will fall right into place. Shoot, boy, jeez. Boy, Tony Tolbert, Jim Jeffcoat, people fail to realize how much Jim Jeffcoat was really him. And Leon Lett, oh my goodness, Charles Haley, oh my God. Boy, don't have me start talking about defense. That's my units, right? And the most important player on defense would have to be Quentin Williams to get this thing going. Yeah, Quentin Williams. I need for him to be a dog. I need Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams to have a healthy season. Them boys to be good. They passed up on Moss, yeah. When they went back to my philosophy and got Greg Ellis, right? Shit. But Greg Ellis was never a bad pickup for us, and I know I'm going to get shanked with the butter knife. Greg Ellis was really good for us. He was solid. It just was outshined by the fact that Randy Moss was doing his thing. If you look at Greg Ellis' career to career, he was a better player, even though he was drafted earlier, I believe, than a DeMarcus Lawrence, right? He's your second best edge rusher complete edge rusher. Put that butter knife, put it down. Don't shank me. Put it down. He was your second best outside of DeMarcus Ware. Overall. Now, I know that, and don't call me crazy, I know Michael Parsons had better stats than Greg Ellis, but Greg Ellis, to a degree, was a better run stopper plus better overall run stopper, not better overall edge rusher. That's what I'm saying. But to be fair, I would put him, since the time he was here, he would have to be your third best, right? Ware, Parsons, and then Greg Ellis. Yeah. Chad Hennings was good too, by the way. Yes, indeed. Ellis was a beast as an outside linebacker on the 3-4 Parcells. Yeah, man, come on with it. Shoot. So y'all leave Greg Ellis alone, man. Shout out to him. And I ain't saying it because I had him on my show and everything. I'm just saying it in general. All right, so back to the conversation ahead. We got two more topics. Y'all good for timing?
This is from Dak Prescott. He said, first two lines, fairly standard, but it's a third one. Dak Prescott via John Machota. The defense is playing with a lot of confidence. You can just tell by how they're communicating. It'll be a battle in camp. So you keep hearing that word
Russell Maryland too. Yeah,
and again,
100%.
Have we set a low bar for expectations? Probably.
Talk to each other, please.
But then there's this. Defensive players have already warned me that it won't be as easy as last year or some camps I've had in the past. This is from Dak Prescott.
Shout out to that. All right, and last but not least,
who is the next Dallas Cowboy proclaiming greatness for himself?
It's Savone Revel. Savone Revel, who's entering year 2 after last year was mired by the rehab from his ACL that he tore when he was at East Carolina. And when he got on the field, definitely looked rusty and looked like he was working back. Well, he told Nick Harris from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram about his lofty goal into the future, being the best cornerback in the NFL. He said, quote, I am going to be someday the best cornerback in the league. That's just how I look at it, and I have the confidence to say it. At the end of the day, I got to work. Which I'm grateful that he does have that confidence, because I think confidence was definitely something that when you watched last year, you went, okay, is there something? Is he totally confident out there playing football? Like, does he look like?
All right, so as a DB guy, confidence is all that you need as a DB. Brent Grimes was like 5'7", 5'8". Darrell Green 5'7", 5'8", right? Fast as all get out. You got to have confidence in order to play this position when you know that everyone is going to be bigger than you. Now, for Savone Revel, he's more of like a 6'2". He's a longer cornerback, right? Redirect. His strength is playing press, dominating, and moving people, subject matters out the way. Right? And if you take something that's confident in that particular space and you put them in the unknown, right? Now they playing a whole different philosophy and a system and scheme, not even playing press, playing zone, and you coming off of an injury and you recovering, that takes away all of your superpowers, right? I can beat the brakes off of Superman if I had some damn kryptonite brass knuckles, right? I'll punch him right in his face. He'll fall right down to his, damn Lord knocked out Superman, And all I had was brass knuckle. Kryptonite fist, and I'll beat Superman down, man. I take away the sun, Superman ain't nobody. So that's just for what it is. Superman needs what he needs, the yellow sun or the red sun. Y'all help me out in the chat. I'll beat Superman down. I'll be Batman over here, man. Confidence is everything. Now, if Superman get to me first and he plucked me one time, I'm dead now. He just, yeah, what happened to Law, man? Look, Law disappeared, man. Shoot, Superman killed him with a, and if he just flicked his fist and the wind killed him. So what I'm saying is basically Revel need that confidence, and what he's been doing this off season, oh man, it breeds nothing but confidence. And working out with the elite trainers and all of this stuff, man, is going to help him out all the way. I feel like Revel's ceiling is, like my guy Third and Sam says, is Richard Sherman or higher. I think he can be a little bit higher than that position there. But not to put too much dip on his chip, he going to have to get it done this training camp and prove it on the field so that he can respectfully earn that spot. He shouldn't be given the spot. Yeah. Drown Superman and Mando. Hell yeah, if I had some kryptonite suit, Superman take away that sun, put him in a dark room, I'll beat the brakes out Superman, man. They'd be like, man, from this day forward, it's super law, Yes, indeed. So shout out to Superman and all of that stuff. So, yeah, the confidence will be there.
Like he's comfortable playing at this level. And we know Jalen Tolbert, that basically, I feel like, destroyed his career, was seeing his confidence shattered his rookie year and then just never being able to build it back up. And so you definitely want guys to have confidence. So, if you think you're going to be the best cornerback in the NFL, more power to you, Savone. I would love to see that happen.
No doubt, man. And just to turn around and talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, what year was Randy Moss drafted? Was it 98 or 99? What year was it? What year was he drafted? Help me out in the chat. We passed up on it. Was it 98, 99? Because I'm thinking that when we really scale it back and we look at what Randy probably would have done, my guy says Jalen Tolbert is no Tony. He ain't lying. Shout out to Tony Tolbert in them. Everyone hit that Hawk smash, man. Hawks 98. I ain't gonna even hold you. If the Cowboys probably would have just did that, because Troy quit in 01, right? Did Troy retire in 00 or 01? Oh, it would have been a good, that would have been, people would have been, look, we would have caught the backlashes about Randy Moss and all of that stuff because of his off the field stuff. But if Jerry walked in that mug and says, man, F y'all, I sued the NFL for $750 million and won because the NFL sued him first for $300 and he ended up winning. Yeah, Greg Ellis was in that draft. We passed up Randy Moss for Greg Ellis. If we had the constraints, because the key would be who would be the second quarterback once Troy Aikman hang him up. That would have been crazy to see Troy Aikman throwing the football to Randy Moss, though. And we still had most of that offensive line intact. Emmett was still there with the golden. Emmett had the gray beard around his mug with the bald head, with still the damn earrings. Troy Aikman retired in 01. If you drafted Randy, how old was Troy in 2001? Somebody used Wikipedia or something like that. Y'all used a quick math thing on AI. How old was Troy Aikman? The only thing that got me with Troy Aikman was that damn Washington game. Yeah, the guy with no neck, or the big wide neck guy. Was it with Spikes or Arlington or something like that? LeVar, he hit him out of bounds and he just started having a concussion. So all of a sudden, he like, shoot, which way am I, I was born a woman. I don't know where I'm at. Shout out to Troy. But he didn't know what was going on. He was 34. Troy Aikman was 34 in 2001. Shit. The Cowboys could have extended him for 5 more years with a Randy Moss. Shit. You know how accurate Troy was? And that's with concussions, Shoo. He would have been extended for at least 4 to 5 more years. He would have went out like John Elway. Troy had at least two more rings in him, at least. Troy would have been the first quarterback with 5 of them outside of it would have been no Patriot era. Yeah. If Troy Aikman, don't y'all know how accurate? God, don't y'all know how accurate Troy was? And then you see Randy Moss get into the leg And he had who thrown Dante? He made Dante Culpepper look good. He made Cunningham look like he had an arm all of a sudden. Shoot. I think that could have been. Even though I talked about how good Ellis was for us. But I think that could have been. And Chain Gailey, you got to understand, was that Chain Gailey's offense at the time? They would have been mad at us. Yeah, they would have been mad at us. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. Yeah, shoot. Don't y'all know how terrible Dante Culpepper was, though? But that was a good unit because they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had Chris Carter, Randy Mouse, and Jake Reed. Jake Reed was nobody to sneeze at. Yeah. It would have been nice. What we would have needed is for when Troy would have won the Super Bowls with Randy Mouse and them. Yeah. We would have had to find Oh, can you imagine the Cowboys do the exact same thing? I think this probably be in Earth 14 or Earth 12 or something. That we drafted Randy Moss. And can you imagine if we were to still get a chance to have our phalanges on Tony Romo? And then the handoff would have been from Troy to Tony. Oh, the NFL would have had multitudes of fits, right? You go from Troy to Tony. Oh man, that would have been too much like right. Like literally, none of that Vinny Testaverde and Drew Bledsoe, and none of that Tony Banks. Oh my God, don't y'all know? And we went and got Randy Cunningham too over here. That would have been crazy, man. Somebody asked, are we going to have the phone lines open? Well, the phone lines brought to you by.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first. Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
All right, hit that line for your mind. That is 817 or 214 and every 3 that you can dial. And call our proud partners, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers, for the best lawyer group in the world. Be sure to reach out to our proud partners. On top of that, if you can't dial that number, visit FrenkelFirm.com. Someone there will be able to assist you and get you going in the best direction possible. Even if you slip and fall at work, don't have to always personal injuries. Don't have to always fall in line of car wrecks, right? Slip and fall at work, or they tell you to put that stuff on the top of that shelf right there, and they give you a short ladder, and they wasn't OSHA compliant, and you fall and tear up your damn knees and stuff. Reach out to our partners, man. Frankel Personal Injury Lawyers. They will take good care of you, not advantages of you, like those insurance companies. 657-390-7391. Now that's my line. That's my line right there. But man, if you ever got a personal injuries, a dog get out and they maul you down, man, call Frankel. Man, it was a wild pit and mauled me up, man. You know, you'd be like, call 911. No, call Frankel in there, man. All right. I got from the 903. Is that East Texas Common Sense Lab? You live.
Law Nation.
What's good with you, man?
What's going on, brother? Did you have? I saw the video earlier. I hope you had a great Father's Day with your daughters and stuff, brother.
Man,
that's greatly appreciated. You know us girl, man. We got to stick together.
Man, I already know my Father's Day gifts, when they get a little bit older, woo, I know it's going to be nice, man. Oh, yeah. Once they get in their teens, when they get grown, they start having their own, they're gonna take real good care of me, man.
Mine was a phone call and a couple of text messages because since they older now, they a little bit too busy for daddy. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, they flipped it up. They switched up on you like that.
They switched. Well, and then too, to be honest, like I do live 2 hours away from my daughters, so you know it's a whole lot easier. But they all had plans and stuff. Like one of my middle daughter, she's on vacation from she's in Rome.
Okay.
From vacation with her spring with her
Rome, Georgia, or Rome.
No, Rome. She's doing she's doing the what they call them, the thespians, the stuff whatever, where she's doing a little bit of performing arts and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah. But to the Cowboy topic, there's two things that us as Cowboy fans are missing, and I think by the floor being raised in these two things is what is giving me hope that we're going to be different this year and better this year. Those two things are attitude and mentality. We got to understand that a lot of times with these, I ain't gonna say a lot of times especially with the Cowboys, but football ain't always just the X's and O's. You know what I mean? I mean, what year was that when we was in the playoffs and they was calling us soft and front runners? You know what I mean? I can't remember if it was 21 or 22. But the biggest thing about it is I feel like
it was 2023. They said, man, the Cowboys a bunch of front runners. That's what the Green Bay Packers said from the jump. And that's what pissed me off, excuse my French, about that, is that we had no fight back to that. They still running and throwing all over us right now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And then what was it? 2021 was when San Francisco brought in the boombox, wasn't it? Or was it 22?
No, that was 2021. They came in as a wild card underdog, and they said, shoot, forget it. We know the Cowboys. We're going to walk right on in. We know what kind of caliber coach Mike McCarthy is. You hit him one time, he don't have no response. So that's exactly what they did. They came in and deboed us. Super grim.
Exactly. And to my point, I don't see now. Let's preface this. We all got to wait and see. You know what I mean? We don't know. But from what we do know, all the players that we acquired and added to this team have a different mentality and attitude about them than the previous players that we did have on the team, correct?
Correct.
Like, okay, we ain't finna see Zaire Alexander run through Flournoy or George Pickens to intercept the ball. We ain't seeing it. We ain't seeing that. You know what I mean? We got just with what we know with Barham, he ain't coming out there to just let nobody run all over him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was really just saying, and to keep it short, Law, we also got to remember that it's other stuff outside of X's and O's that can help this team be way better than what we've been in the past. A lot of that has to do with the attitude and mentality. Dak is already talking about the attitude that CP is bringing, the iron sharpen iron.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We thought we was getting that last year. We got the Rafiki Kyer Elam where he's holding up the baby. We thought we was getting iron sharpen iron. So we do got to wait and see. I do understand we got to wait and see. But at the same time, I'm okay with the wait and see approach this year, just because I know the attitude and the mentality of the players that we brought in. I mean, we can talk about Caleb Downs all we want, but the biggest part about what everybody's saying is what? It's attitude and his mentality.
Right. And he don't make the same mistake twice. That's what Coach said,
Right. And see, so I'll put a little bit more emphasis on the attitude and mentality of this team. The floor of attitude and mentality of the team has risen exponentially. Mm-hmm. I think that to me, and we can all go back and look. The problem with the Cowboys has always been the attitude and mentality. Because when we was winning the Super Bowls in the 90s, guess what we had? We had attitude and mentality. You're not stopping us from running the ball. You're not stopping us from running the ball. The offensive line, you're not stopping. You're not getting a choice. You're not getting it in it. Oh, if you try that, then guess what? Michael Irvin, all the players had a certain attitude and demeanor about them.
Yeah.
I see Shotty trying to fight back against the Joneses, And, you know, I know how everybody feels about Boss Cowboy and everything like that, but he did do a great show on Shotty fighting for his voice. I think everybody should go watch that.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go watch it. Yeah, I'm going to go watch that.
Yeah, you just I know how people feel about Boss, but this was a great show for everybody. It wasn't nothing. It was just a great show for everybody. Go look at that, and y'all understand how Shotty has been fighting to build a certain way for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like this. All I want to say, Law, is just we got just as a Cowboy fans and everybody, remember the attitude and mentality part of this team. If that grows along with the talent, we have a better shot at anything. That's all I was talking about, Law. I just want to put that out there because I don't think a lot of us are talking about that enough.
Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you. And let me hear you say it before I let you get up out of here.
As Jimmy Johnson first stated, how about them Cowboys? Let's go, Law Nation. Love you, brother.
Man. Much love to you, man. It's my guy, Common Sense, from the 903. Here's what I want to expound upon. This man said a mouthful. I'm old enough to remember the last time we had attitude on offense. And Dak don't carry it along the way that I wanted to, because he's not like Dak. Let me beat up Dak just a little bit and don't shank me with the butter knife. Dak do have sometimes the little brother mentality, like he go with the flow with all of that, you know. Troy Aikman, I've seen him cuss folks out. I've seen him with fiery red eyes to that wide receiver outside of Michael Irvin. But that other wide receiver dropped the ball, he spit upon that wide receiver and not go back to them the entire game, right? Whereas Dak is a little different. I'm not beating up Dak, by the way. I like his leadership commands and all of this stuff. But there's times that we need other people to stand the F up, and we don't get that on this team, especially on the offensive side of the coin. I'm old enough to remember that there was a time, and even though we were getting our ass chewed out and we were losing, there was a time on offense that there was this guy named Terrell Owens. Cowboys versus 49ers. Terrell Owens scored a touchdown, and he thought that it would be damn near cute to go back to the start in the middle of the field and do his T.O. dance, right? There's a guy named Emmitt Smith who ran up on him and knocked him off of that start. That was the last time on the offensive side of the coin that we had a dog, right, outside of the damn quarterback. That's how long we got to go back. Now, I know that Byron Jones did it against the Tennessee. When the dude tried to dance on the start, Byron Jones kind of slightly pushed him off, but it wasn't like a George Teague type of push-off, right? So we have been missing over the course of the years. We've been one of the most docile teams in the National Football League. When it's time for us to get gritty, when it's time for us to get dog nasty, when it's time for us to destroy their opposition, especially when they are lesser, inferior talent, whatever, we tend to scoop down to their level and play marbles with them. Now, like, come on, man. We supposed to destroy. One thing I gotta take away from Bill Belichick when they was on their runs with damn Tom Brady and them, when it was time for them to destroy and take hope away from a team, oh my goodness. I'll be saying the scoreboard is 41-5. Miami getting their doors blown off. And what Tom Brady still doing in the game? Tom Brady was still, when it was time for the old school Patriots to go up against the Jets, and they had the talent, oh my goodness, they decimated them. Run up the score, like 38-3. Tom Brady's still in the game. Headbutting folks. Ah! You know, we need that type of mentality. And what Common Sense is talking about is that it wasn't really something that we can look back on for the last 5 years, 10 years. That we come in and dominate on the offense and the defensive side of the coin. Or we go in, even if we are underdog. This dog got teeth, and we make the opposition look like, damn, man, shoot, we might have won, but, man, we barely. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want us to be like, one of them teams, whereas we run up the score and we being polite and we pull this guy, we trying to play safe. No, I want us to destroy the opposition. Because when I read that book, and I'm still reading it, they always revealed to me certain different things. Shout out to you, T. Rich, man. Member for 24 months, gold level, by the way. This is T. Rich, DC for life, 72, says Law Nation, the GOAT. Appreciate you, man. You the GOAT, man. You the GOAT. Appreciate you. But we need to destroy the oppositions. And I read in that good book, man, the Grand Creator says, kill them all. Don't leave not a single blood alive. Kill them all. Destroy. Destroy it all. Burn it down to the ground. Don't leave one blood. And every time I read, when they leave that one little bloodline alive, that one bloodline come back and destroy all of the things that he said. I told you to kill them all the first time. I told you to destroy, smite thy enemy. He didn't say, turn the other cheek. Sometimes go and destroy it all. Kill every bloodline you can find. Right? And then they keep sparing them. And then all of a sudden, the whole problem coexists again. So it is for what it is. We need to destroy and step and put our boot to the faces of the opposition and smash it until it's smithereens. Yeah, bro. Emmett did the score and ran back to the start and defended. George T was the one that hit him. Yeah, well, I had the story backwards. But still, that was the last time we had dominance on the offensive side of the coin for somebody to go in there and score and run it back and put that damn ball right back on the start. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell Dak when I see him, I say, whenever y'all score at home, I want y'all to go back to the start and put that ball there and let people know that this belongs to us. And if you come to our city, our town, even though it's not Dallas, we playing in Arlington, it still belongs to Texas, and that is Dallas Stadium, I need for us to exemplify that this is who we are. Yeah, we need to set that tone. We need to set these type of trends and let them know if you coming to the All-Star, you coming on all block, my 4-4 make sure all your kids won't grow. I'll be having y'all playing at Pelican Bay next year. Come on, man. We need to have that type of mentality. I'm so sick and tired of being docile. Don't y'all know every time I post somewhere, they say even to the ones we drafted, Lord, Caleb Downs is not perfect. He's not that great. You putting too much dip on him. What you supposed to do? Supposed to uplift all guys. Man, you go to anybody else tape, and they praising their players that get drafted. There's nobody second guessing, third guessing their guys. You got a guy named Lemon that catch one little shallow pass, and the Eagles say, "Oh, he's the next coming of A.J. Brown mixed in with the greatest wide receiver to ever play the Eagles land." Yeah, I mean, God dog, man, like, come on. Let's go, baby. All right, let's go. Yeah, from the 409, what's on your mind? D-Shift, talk to me.
Hey, what's good, Law?
Nothing much, man. All is well.
Hey, man. And with Troy being him being that guy that was cursing people out, that wasn't even the version of Troy we liked. We liked the good cop version of Troy where Jimmy Johnson was doing all the cursing.
Yeah.
So like you said with Belichick, man, I think Tom Brady and Belichick still probably don't have the best relationship. Because that's just how much of an asshole Belichick was. And that's what he was willing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make sure that his team was going to be successful is you take the best player on the team and you let the rest of the team understand. And I think that's probably where Tom Brady kind of galvanized everybody. It's like, hey, man, y'all know that's just Bill being Bill. Get your mind right and let's get to work.
But these these are the two things that we can all say. Bill Belichick was very, very hard on Tom. He was very hard on Tom. To this point, Jimmy Johnson was extremely hard on Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman literally was going to get benched at some points and not even practice.
He did get benched.
Yeah. And then you had Uncle Jerry Jones step in and say, hey, that's my son too. And yes, he's starting next week. And that's just how the divide would happen in the
was that Steve Berline?
Man, shoot, man.
Berline came in, or somebody came in over Detroit before that Detroit playoff loss, before they made the run to the dynasty.
Well, Troy was allegedly healthy enough to play, and he didn't. Yeah, they didn't start, and they went with the as the quote unquote, as they say, the hot hand. So they kept Berline in. Yeah.
I think he wanted to trade, and then Jimmy was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go with you. I ain't gonna do that again."
But you know how sometimes you just run across that team that was on one. Mm-hmm. I mean, Barry Sanders, man. He was just on one that game.
Herman Moore.
Yeah, all of them boys, man. They were just, no matter what. We could have had Joe Montana out there at that time. That team was just ready for it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so Shotty got to step up, man, because I remember Hard Knocks a couple years ago or one of them shows, and the way I was seeing Dak talk to McCarthy, I think old Redhead Rush was getting some snaps or some looks, and then, Dak talking to McCarthy all crazy. Troy would have never talked to Jimmy that way, So it's just a matter of having that coach, or you think about how Parcells used to treat Romo, and so that's kind of one of those things. I hope Shotty, man. I know he's a player's coach, but I kind of rather the guy that, I know it's a different era, right? But still, at the same token, man, I don't know. I just kind of would like that guy that just don't give a damn. This is his team. But I know that's kind of hard to do in Dallas with old Jerry. Yeah, I want to push back on an earlier point you made, Law, with Javonte being a higher pecking order than the playmakers. I think overall your philosophy is correct, that the running back, if it's an elite one, but I feel like on this team, I feel like your playmakers, if something happened to your playmakers or that was disrupted, and you had some regular guys come in and you had Javonte, I don't think that would be a better situation than if something happened to Javonte.
Well, if you don't have
step up,
if you don't have a run game, if you don't have your run game, we doing the same thing. These last three playoff games that we witnessed, we averaged only 2.4 yards per tote. You had the likes of a CeeDee Lamb, you had Amari Cooper out there in 2021, but you couldn't run the ball on an efficient level. My only thing is, it is easier for these wide receivers to get separation and looks, especially when it's one-on-one to the outside and you have 7 and more in the box to stop the run. So that's why I'm saying is that if we can continue to run, even Dak Prescott record supports what I'm saying. If you have the ability to run the ball with Dak, shoot. That's why I say if the most important part on this offense right now is the offense, is Dak, offensive line, and then the running back. I'm just looking at it from that aspect.
I agree overall. I guess in my mind, we never were able to utilize those two dope wide receivers, especially in the playoffs. Like we did in the season, but Zeke was a little regular. I think the fault on that was you didn't run Tony Pollard enough, and then CD only got like one pass that game.
Are you talking about in 2021 or 2022?
In 2021.
Yeah, because
2021, I think CD got like one pass, and Tony Pollard might have had like 4 rushes.
Right.
And Zeke was, way past his prime. So have we seen more of a mixture of Tony Pollard? I think that's where that went wrong.
Yeah.
TP was supposed to be getting 15 carries, and Zeke was supposed to be spelling him. And then, you would have had that pass game open up. Yep. So I think they shot themselves in the foot. I just think overall, I don't think Javonte is at a peak where TP was, and I don't think this running back room is where TP and Zeke were. And so I just feel like on just this particular team, that's kind of why, you know, I'm comfortable with TP.
Shift, as crazy as it sounds, I hate to put this on Javonte like this. Damn. But Javonte by himself and the way he ran behind his offensive line is better than any addition that we had since 2020.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. Like I like Ezekiel Elliott. His claim to fame was, hey, a downhill runner that can get separation, catch out of the backfield, could do those things for you. But he folded like a wallet when you needed him the most in the postseason, whether it was the offensive line, the play calling in general. It's just that it wasn't enough, and they put all of the onus on Dak Prescott. If we can come to a situation whereas all I'm asking is for the damn running back to give me, if he can't give me 4, that's just me wishing for high hopes. All I'm asking for is 3.4. If you give me 3.4 yards per tote in the postseason, we winning. I'm guaranteeing a victory if we can average 4 yards on the ground. But we winning with boldly convictions if this guy can only just average 3 or 3.5 yards on the ground in the postseason. That's all I'm looking for.
Well, I guess one glimmer of hope, one glimmer is like you got a dominant interior on your O-line that you didn't have. You know, Connor Williams was lighting the ass, and then you got Clayton Adams, who since what's my Callahan, since Callahan left. I mean, even Colombo, you can throw him a little bit, but since those guys left, you haven't had an offensive line coach as good as what you got in Clayton Adams now. So I think part of what we've seen from Javonte, I mean, because hell, even with, you know, what we say about Jadon and Phil, hell, they was even clowning that last game against the Giants. I know it's just the Giants, but, you know, they was clowning, you know. So I think, you know, Javonte, that's why that's why I'm glad we kind of gave him the contract we gave him versus him coming out feeling like he was just the best running back in the league, because I know he knows the situation of he had a great offensive line coach.
Right.
You got a great offensive line, and then those weapons outside just don't allow for teams to stack the box the way, that you'll probably see it in playoff football, though. I mean, once you get to the playoffs, though, like Javonte becomes important because every defense you play is going to be elite, damn near elite.
Hell yeah.
So, and it's going to be important in that cold weather. But that's all I got, Law. I appreciate you just taking my call today, bro, and happy belated Father's Day, man.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you, Shift, man. That's from the 409. Yeah. 3.2 yards, man. I'm sitting there like, oh, man, we winning. But if we could just average 4, I'm guaranteeing victory with Dak, a healthy Dak, and here's my other part of it. It don't have to be Javonte. Let me say this again. It don't have to be Javonte. I'm looking for 4 yards on the ground, and I'm looking for these teams. People fail to realize, people since, I would say, 2018, 2019-ish, they don't play the Cowboys to stop the run. They play the damn Cowboys to stop the pass. That's why you have 6 DBs dropping back in coverage, and we couldn't run against that for that length of time. But so many people put the pressure on 4 to win it all, and they dismiss the fact that that's respect to your quarterback, and all you need to do is be able to run up under that umbrella to collapse it so that they can get out of those defenses. Go back and look at it. Nobody in the last playoff games that we played in cared or give a damn about the run. They never. The last time we were dominant in the run game department was against the Seattle Seahawks in 2008. So that's a long time. And that was Dak's third year, was going into his third season. People fail to realize that. And no matter how much I talk about this and that, people go back to the saying, Dak is whack, Dak is trash, and Dak is this and that. When we are able to see Sam Darnold win and lift up a Lombardi trophy because they had a run game. A lesser talented quarterback they got a trophy because they had run game and defense. And, of course, JSN is powerful within. But what I'm saying is that when we rhyme with all of this for your mind is what I'm saying is that you need that run game. The Seattle Seahawks would not be able to control the clock and control the game without that damn running back and that damn defense. And do I have to go further to talk about Jalen Hurts? People look at the Super Bowl performance and say, hey, he outdueled Pat Mahomes. It's easy. When you got a Saquon Barkley and everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie is inside the box and said, okay, well, we know for one thing, Saquon won't beat us, and that was a horrible game plan because Saquon definitely didn't beat him. Hurts to the outside of AJ. Hurts play action to the other wide receiver. That's the key. Run the ball to open up for the passing. Yeah, so it is for what it is. And no offense to Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. Y'all know how I feel about my brother. Got the beard and the same little mohawk thing going, you know what I'm saying? Even though he might look older than me now. Shout out to Zeke. But I got from the 323, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me. Ken, you on the show. Talk to me.
What's going on with the Law Nation, man? Shout out to you and the last caller, man. Both of you guys hit it on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of agree. I like the Cowboy fan. I got a little knowledge about his team. Shout out to him, man. Good knowledge right there, man.
Appreciate it.
Same you. Hey, I'm a Jerry Jones supporter and a Dak supporter, so a lot of fans might not agree with me with what I'm about to say, but at the same time, I want to say this though real quick. I'm a little older than you guys. I watched Tom Landry get into it on the sideline with Roger Staubach and Danny White. So hey, that stuff happens during the game for those people who want to know. But I always call Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones Craig and what's that from Friday? It was Craig and Smokey.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like, man, ever since Dak been there, man, we never had two of anything, bro. And it's always been on four, like you said, man. We never had. To me, everybody go to 2016 and talk about, we had a good defense with Sean Lee. Man, Sean Lee stayed hurt.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He stayed hurt.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
That defense was suspect then, but the offense was just that good. We can't, but like you said, we had that running game with Callahan, and that's why we got lost in transition. I think in translation, excuse me, but I think our running game back then was so dominant, we was begging for more Dak. Then we got more Dak, and then we left the running game, and I think we lost Zeke, man. Zeke went to waste, man. We let him. Yeah. He went the way because he was a hard runner. He ain't no finesse runner, so he basically went to waste, Law. But hey, man, that's all I wanted to say because you basically brought up all my arguments. You and that last caller, and y'all really left me speechless.
Yeah, we was in the same. That's because you know ball, Ken. That's just for what it is. You know ball. If you didn't know ball, you'd be like, hey, no. Appreciate you, man.
Y'all left me speechless. I didn't really say too much. I'm like,
appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, you the one brought me to the atmosphere, man. Hey, man, I'm still watching you. Great job, man. I've been watching you for the last few years, man. Great job, young man. You keep it up, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to watch you, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Where the 323 is at, man? Where that's at?
South Central Los Angeles, man.
Okay. So you going to be out there in Oxnard and beyond, or what we got going?
I'll be every year. It's my birthday around that time, so I go every year, bro. Every year I'll be there.
All right, let's get it, man. I'll see you out there then, Ken. Just let me know, man, when you in, all right?
Yes, sir. I sure will. Thank you, Law. Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I need to learn my area code, 323. I might have to call him like, hey, Ken, I'm over here, man, off of Crenshaw and somewhere, man. They finna get me, man. I need you to pull up on me, man. Help me out. Never know. I'm in L.A., man. I need your help. Help me. They chasing me, man. They chasing me, Ken. then can't come out with his Uzis and stuff like that. Come on with it, man. Shoot. But being a Jerry Jones apologist, there's not nothing wrong with that. I think that, if Jerry's sliding you a few dollars, Ken, then let me know too, by the way. But I do like Jerry to this extent. It's two Jerrys. One can argue three. We can all say that Jerry Jones, the GM, we kind of like, Jerry Jones, the owner, is somebody that you would all love to play for, man. Shoot. Hey, you mean to tell me, if it's me, if I'm like a super go along, get along guy, oh my God, there'll be heaven for me, man. If I was a go along, get along guy, I'll go up there and to the start. If I work for Jerry, I'll be saying, Jerry, man, you do such a great job. Now, let me talk to you about this right here, man. And Jerry probably like, yeah, what's your point? But I'm like, Jerry, you the greatest. And then Jerry be like, yeah, because them people like that, we call it narcissists. They love to get praises and stuff. Jerry, you the greatest, man. You the best. You the best, man. Come on, Jerry, man, boy. You the man, boy. I be kidding. Brown nosing my ass off, man. But damn, I ain't a brown noser. That's the only thing. They tried to get me to come up there to the Star and do some shows up there, man. I said, for what? Nah, man, shoot, that's gas money for me to get there. I'm fooling around, be out trying to get up that way, man. And nope. Let me quit talking before I outspeak my wisdom teeth. But some people, they're cap and they'll go work over there with Jerry and muffle their mouths. I like to be able to speak my mind, though. Speaking of that, man, I got the big mesh from the 202. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, man.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. Yeah. What's good with you, man?
How you doing, my brother from another mother?
Man, I'm doing well, man.
I love it. I'm glad I'm hearing all the good vibes on the show.
Yeah, good vibes.
Absolutely. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, Lord.
Come on with it, man.
We don't want docile Cowboy players. We don't want them anymore.
Right.
We're going to show them the door. Instead, we want agile, mobile, and hostile Cowboy players. That's what we want. That's what's happening now. We're seeing that conversion taking place. I'm hoping. At least on defense, we're seeing that.
That's all we got.
And, right? That's all. We're seeing something happen.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
So we got to throw in that hope with it, man. But that's what we got. And with Dak, I hate to say it, but he's not the same player as he was in 2018, right? And that's because he's a better passer. Don't get me wrong. His knowledge totally different. But in 2018, I remember that game against Seattle. He imposed his will.
Yeah.
He demoralized that team by running and he was doing everything. Unfortunately, he's not that player anymore. But that doesn't mean he can't win the Super Bowl.
Facts.
And you're right, filling in those other pieces, right? That's what you're bringing up. And
Big fact.
So we're all for it. He needs that running back. Look, Tony Dorsett didn't block, right? He may have tried to throw his shoulder or get in the way of somebody, but Tom Landry didn't have him out there for blocking.
Right.
He was in the I formation, taking that screen pass. He had his utility, and he spared him on heavy use, but utility. He was a phenomenal running back with his superpowers that he had.
Right.
Tom Landry figured it out for him, right? Same thing with Troy Aikman. Emmitt Smith. Troy Aikman, if he's throwing the ball 40 times, guess what his winning percentage probably is? I haven't looked at it, but when he's throwing the ball 40 times or more, he's not winning. Right? That's what I think. Could be wrong, but I don't think he'd be winning games or has won games when he's passing that much. But that's basically what I want to say, man. Is we need to get that personnel grouping, TOP, get a dominant running game, or using the tight end group to extend that running game, however it's going to be brought about. Just like the old 49ers, right? Roger Craig and throwing that. They got to do something. That had Rathman as well out of the backfield. But they got to develop something. And what's your thoughts on that with Shoddy and developing a better running style for our offense?
I think so. I think that Schottenheimer, he will do that. Historically speaking, he always had great backs, you know. I think that Javonte Williams, if he can remain healthy, that he's going to exemplify that. And whatever Jadon Blue is going to turn the next corner around, he can be that. But they're going to have to move swiftly with that and seeing if this is going to be the pieces that they're going to roll with in 2026. Because that's one of my biggest reservations is the backup quarterback for the Cowboys. Not quarterback, but running back is what that guy is going to look like in this particular system this year around. And that was the only piece that was kind of like even on offense last year. Like we saw a spring and a run with Javonte, but then it just dropped off really quickly with the backup running back when Miles got in or when the other running back got in. It was like double agent, man. It just siphons all of the energy out of us. So hopefully that this won't happen for this year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and no, I agree with you 100%. And what about preseason? Please tell me they're going to play. I want to see every starter out there, unless there's a legitimate injury. Maybe but I want to see everyone. I want the example being set. No one gets a pass. No one.
Right.
From Dak on down. That has to be the exemplary model for every player to know.
It's a mindset that got to be installed, though, you know. And
right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does. But do you think Shoddy's going to do it? And Jerry, and do you believe that should happen that way?
No, I don't think that they're going to do it. They play they pay and play different from the teams that win it, right? Like I'm old enough to remember Tom Brady well off into his late 30s still playing preseason games because he need to have the temperaments of the speed, and he never wanted to start off too slow on the first starts of the season because he uses this principle called momentum. And Tom Brady was a dog at it. So what the Cowboys tend to do is that they use these scheduled group practices like with the Saints and the Rams as their quote-unquote preseason game for the veterans. And that's a bought-in philosophy now because they can control the tempo, the momentum, and all of that, which it hurts us because our first two games of the seasons are pretty much our preseason game, which will be against divisional foes, which is crazy. Unfortunately, that's just how the Cowboys operate. They operate out of comfort.
Yeah, that's true. That's control anger. That's like having a control fight.
Right.
And we all know, look, having scraped a few, I'm scraped a little bit. But you got to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then you never want that to happen again. Mm-hmm. You're going to take their lunch. You're going to take their will. You're going to demoralize them. Take their will out of their heart. Throw it in front of them. Stomp on it and then spit on it. That's what you got to do.
Yep.
That's the mentality. You see, I think Tyler Booker might have some of that. I mean, Larry Allen,
right.
Big E. Just saying on the offensive line, we and they have some players like that. And maybe the game's changed. Don't get me wrong, but that animosity, you have to have it at least during game time. Somehow that switch has to change. And I'll leave you with that, my brother.
No doubt.
How about them Cowboys?
Yo, that's one of my favorite callers, Big Amish, man. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that philosophy, right? It just haven't been a winning philosophy in 30 years, 30 seasons, but you got to play it safe to your vest. You got $250 million out there, man, and that's Dak Prescott. How can you explain week 2 or week 3 of the preseason he laid out on the field because a guy just trying to make this team shoots off of the edge and he creams your quarterback, pause if necessary. So that's how they circumvent the risk. So they say, okay, let's be in a controlled environment. Let's not get my quarterback creamed if possible so that we can play this full season, Well, it comes with a trade-off too, whereas if your wide receiver been baby-fied the entire training camp and now it is game 1 of the season and he got somebody barreling down on him and he's been baby-fied the entire training camp. And now that person that's coming down to take their head off, you thinking multiple times, do I hold on to this ball or do I keep my locks in neat? And and I'm not beating up damn CeeDee Lamb, but I'm just saying, do I hold on to this ball? Or do I protect my pretty teeth, or my chain, you know what I'm saying? Do I hold on to the ball? Because I know for sure, regardless of how good, and I love CeeDee, he's my dog. He's my dog. As dog nasty as I love CeeDee, I love him. But I wish he would have went up against Prime Talib with all of them chains on, and Talib go up there and snatches one of them off. You know what I'm saying? As a DB, that's my mindset, right? I'm snatching them chains and I'm burning tattoos. Yeah. I'm burning all of them things. You wanna show up on me? Okay, all right. Yeah. That's what I'm doing week 1. I'm having to say, I'm playing mean effing football. I'm going one-on-one with CeeDee, but I'm telling my safety, be over the top, because if I slip, I just want you to break them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want you to tie them damn dreadlocks into ponytails. And he got all of them colors, too, representing the red, the blue, the yellow, the whole rainbow. Yeah, all right, it's going to be Skittles on the ground after I hit him. That's what I would say as a defender, going up against CeeDee. I would make it look like it's one-on-one, but I'm having safety help over the top. Yeah, and I say regardless of it, I got you $15,000 on your fine. Just hit him. Don't hit him low. Don't hit him too high. Hit him right in between the 8s and 8s. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah. They say, "Law, you a mean guy." Yeah, I'm trying to win at all costs. I still don't let my daughters beat me in dominoes. I don't let them beat me in Uno, tic-tac-toe, whatever it is. I'm playing through the echoes of the whistle. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I got from the 530 AJ. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, man.
Good luck. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. What you got?
You in a rush or you got a minute?
I'm supposed to have been going an hour ago, but keep talking.
For sure. I was going to hit you with some of your own drops, but I'll just stick it to football.
Yeah.
What's it called? I feel like this year we're doing good. For the offseason and everything, I feel like the D-line, everybody we got, they're going to really keep our smaller linebackers, clean, and then they'll just be able to run around and make fucking plays. And I hope that our offense can be more productive, hopefully get the tight ends and the fullback more active, and I don't know, Law, we need to score more points instead of all these field goals. That's what always gets to me is the field goals. If we had double the many touchdowns as field goals, I'd be happy. But when we're barely scoring and just relying on field goals all the time to try and win games, that doesn't do it. So it's just getting to me like you said, it's like a crutch almost. The Cowboys offense is just we'll just get past the 50 and then we'll just let Aubrey go.
Mm-hmm.
We want to score every freaking drive, no matter what. No defense should be able to stop our offense. We should just be able to just whip up on them.
Yeah.
And also, Law, do you think it's possible that we could have Lamb with 1,000 yards, Pickens with 1,000 yards, Ferg with 1,000 yards, Javonte with 1,000 yards, and Flo with 600?
Sheesh. That'll be one of the greatest offenses of all time. It's plausible, It's very possible.
Points a game.
Say again?
I'm trying to have 40 points a game.
Come on with it, man. Let's do that, man. Definitely we'll consider that, man. I would love to see that out there on the field, man, with all of them thousands of yards. But at some point, I want us to, when we run the ball, kill the clock, keep our defense fresh too. Yep.
Yeah, we have
slow the game down. Yeah.
if we have everybody as a threat, then who are they going to cover? Who are they going to double cover? You know, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So if we have everybody as a threat, then that opens up a lot more plays.
No doubt, man, AJ. Appreciate you for calling in. Let me hear you say it, though.
DC for life. Shout out Law Nation. Shout out Memphis. Shout out to the FedEx guy. All that.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you, man. Yes, indeed. I love it, man. Hell yeah. I would love, for all of that to materialize. Matter of fact, if that happened, I'm going to make sure that I'm gonna find this video. I'm going to crop it. Then I myself going to go to Dak and to Javante and to CD and to, did he say GP having 1,000 yards too? JP. And man, if Jake Ferguson, man, if he get 1,000 yards, shoot, catching the ball and laying on the ground, man, I'm going to go to them personally and say, hey, y'all going to have to split some money, man, with this guy because he predicted this way before it happened. And that's my guy, AJG, man, from the 530. Y'all make sure that y'all support my brother. And speaking of that, I got the last two callers. I got Sonny, and then I got my guy DP from the 979. But from the 970, you're live on the Nation. Sonny, talk to me, man.
Hey, how about them Cowboys?
Yes, indeed. How about them?
I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about our offensive line. You know, if our offensive, when you were mentioning with attitudes, don't you remember who was on our offensive line? Williams, remember when he used to play Philadelphia? He made their guys quit.
Eric Williams, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Big E, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, Big E, yes.
I mean, they were afraid to play against him. He made the actual guys quit.
They said that he absolutely made guys cry. Literally cry.
That's what you got to have as an offensive line. That's. But hey, my question is, we got Seattle and we got the Rams back to back. You see us losing both them games?
No, we don't. No. I got us sweeping both of them. I think on my 14-3. Me and my brother, we went down through the rabbit hole, and I think I got us beating Seattle, beating the Rams. If I'm not mistaken.
That's in Seattle, and the LA Rams is in LA. And I think that's towards the end of the year, isn't it? About the 13th, 14th game that we make that.
Yeah.
So we play them towards the end, somewhere up there.
Yeah, we do play them towards the latter part. But the L.A. Rams game, I can book it that it's going to be more Cowboy fans in L.A. than there are damn L.A. Rams fans in that game, especially if the season is going
Miles Garrett.
They can have Miles Moreau, Garrett, all of the Miles, man. We're going to be able to showcase and show up. People going to be there because even Miles Garrett got a Cowboy jersey on up under that jersey. So, yeah, we're going to show up and show out. Yeah.
I wish he would have came here, though. I really am.
Yeah, but here's the 1,000 truth. I'm old enough, Sonny, to see a healthy Miles Garrett versus a healthy, young rookie named Tyler Guyton, and he wasn't his best in that game.
That's what made me think
but we won.
About.
Yeah,
we had some offensive players who love to play them type of players.
Yeah.
How do you think Williams would have done against a player like Parson? I mean, like them type. You think them guys would have? You think they would have put him in their place, or vice versa?
How do I think? Who?
Williams, our nasty offensive lineman back then in the 90s.
Oh man,
different guy.
Different set of roots. Yeah. Big E.
Oh, I realize that, but God damn, he loved that.
He did, man.
Then I forget who it was, our other offensive guy when they played Sapp of Buccaneers. When he was in his prime, he made a call. Was telling somebody, I watched it just the other day on YouTube there.
Yeah.
One guy was telling the story when he called. Sapp said, you tell that guy that he's never played anybody like me before. And so he laughed. So he called him and told him. And I guess our player just laughed. And after that game, Sapp called back and apologized. He had no idea.
You don't know who he going to
played again.
It could have been Big Nate or somebody, man. But I appreciate you, Sonny, man. Let me hear you say it.
Hey, how about them Cowboys?
Yes, indeed, baby. That's my guy from Sonny, man. Yes, indeed, for the 970, man. Yeah, man. Big E, before the car wreck and the accident there, you know, he would have made some guys cry, man. He would have folded some. It's great, and I'm using this word very loosely. Very loosely. As great as Myles Garrett is. That Reggie White and what's the other guy, Brown, for the damn Eagles, they was a terror, you know. But not against Big E, man. Big E folded White, man. Beat him up so bad, sent him off to Green Bay, man. Just a different era, different rules and all of this stuff. But man, it's just crazy, man, how Sonny brought those things up. I would love to see it. I got DP from the 979, but when I held that 9, all I can see were my mama's eyes. What's good with you, man? Talk to me, man.
Man, what's going down with you, Lord, man? Hope you had a good Father's Day.
Yeah.
You know, happy belated Father's Day to you and all the fathers that's in the chat room right now.
Yes, indeed.
See, it sound like I missed a good call. A good show, man. Shoot, everybody can come with that heat. I've been seeing you over there talking about knocking Skittles up out of boys and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
One day, one of these players gonna try to jack me up. I just got to get it on camera, man.
I'm just saying, man.
Hit my good side.
Man.
Hit my good
side.
Yeah,
hit my good side. Hit my good
so they can definitely know.
For real. But in all seriousness, man, yeah, I'm on the same boat that you're on and a lot of those other callers. It's been a while since we've seen some, some, I guess you say toughness out of the team, And
DP, I got to correct myself. Honorable mention, Dez was that dude. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say that. Yeah. My all-time favorite game of Dez Bryant was in when he was in the middle of the field. He was trash talking. I think it was Malcolm Jenkins and some couple other guys. He was just shoving them, talking mess to them, and then he proceeded to use and abuse that secondary. I think he scored 3 touchdowns in that same game. So I think that was the last time we saw somebody with that kind of mentality. Yeah. I think George Pickens, I think he definitely has it. We saw how he was when he was going up against Marshawn Lattimore. He was letting them have it. And so yeah, man, they need that, man. I don't know what happened, why none of those guys do that. That's a very interesting thing because and kind of piggyback off what you were saying about with Belichick, Brady. I think that year, that first year when they got Randy Moss, I just remember they were running up the scoreboard on everybody.
Yeah,
and I think even like the reporters were asking Belichick about it. And Belichick, he didn't give two what's about it. He was like, so what? Like, I couldn't be a head coach in the league, man, 'cause I would be the biggest jerk off ever because I would be running up the scoreboard I'd be like, I don't care, stop it. If you got a problem with it, stop it. Like, I don't believe in sympathy or want sympathy when it comes to like sports.
Right.
I don't I ain't. I'm gonna put my foot on your neck when it comes to if I was in sports. I used to little known fact about me, I used to compete in mixed martial arts, so I know a little bit about competition. So, so I mean, yeah, like I'm hoping that we see a little bit more of that, especially we know CP in here. Obviously he's definitely bringing that fire and that energy, man. Cause we definitely need it, man. There's too many times over these last few years we done seen this team, getting just beat up on by 49ers and just the 49ers, the Bills. I remember that Bills game, they let James Cook run for 200 yards. It just I don't want to see games like that, man. Like, I want to see, like, if a dude, like, for example, when Rico with his fake dreads coming on the field telling y'all to buckle up, man, I want somebody to take that personal, man. I want to see more of that. So I can't say what we're gonna see out of this team this year. You know, I want to believe that they're definitely gonna be better. They're better on paper for sure. So, but you know, only time will tell, man. Definitely gonna be hyped up once Oxnard gets here, man. Get to see what these guys look like with pads on, man. So
let's get it, man.
Yeah, for real. So, man, appreciate you giving me a chance to speak, Law.
Anytime, DP, man. I thank you so much for calling in, Chief. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
No doubt, man. He was the let me hear you say it, DP.
Oh, my bad, man. How about them Cowboys, man?
How about them, man? Shoot, that's goodbye. My guy DP, man. And that's AI Tisha saying goodbye. Here's what I want to say all together. As I'm trying to hold in boy, I got the burpees over here. I guess I need to do some burpees. Here's what I want to say. Is that yes, theirs was that dog, but we didn't have the dog mentality of the coach. You know, the coaching staff was all, we don't like that over here. We want everything to be meek and everything to be X, Y, and Z. We don't want, hell with that. D'Angelo Hall is talking shit. Excuse my French. I need to show him who I am, right? Then the media, well, you think that that's going to be a distraction, you know, how the Terrell Owens. We went on this like Christian crusade type of thing, whereas we wanted to be turn the other cheek and be nice and meek. Hell with that, right? Like the Josh Norman thing was okay, cool. Josh Norman, he got us when he was with the Carolina Panthers. It took until Dak came in 2016 or 17 to play against the Washington team. Whenever Josh Norman went there to get his revenge back, it was crazy, right? We shouldn't have to wait that long, right? So what I'm trying to get at is that it shouldn't take all of that, right? You know, sometimes I want revenge now. You know, I'm tired of us being the meek and docile and, okay, let's hold the door for these guys. Let's show gamemanship and be polite. Nah, let's run through these guys like dog diarrhea, right? They're stuck in a cage. Now you got to clean this stuff up, right? Yes, indeed. So that's what I want. Better than to have the burpees than the herpes. You ain't lying, Daryl Reeves. Shout out to you, 3659. Shout out to you. And I'm still waiting for our revenge on Daryl Reeves, right? Well, I mean, like, Dez was at that point, like, if everything else was flowing, Dez got him a few times. I think Dez did get Richard Sherman, but I think at that game we didn't win it, so it was kind of weird, but it's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, I want my revenge now. Yeah. Was it 2016 or was it 2017 when Dez went up against Josh Norman? It was one of them years, right? And that's when I very first started to do YouTubes and stuff like that. But it is for what it is. Let's bring back the White House party times. Which one? Which one? Yes, let me know which one. But this team, I said all of this to say that CP and Marcus Dixon and those boys over there on the defensive side, we know that the energy was something that we all need is on both sides. And I think that Schottenheimer do bring that back to the table, whereas Schottenheimer, he was like, you scored a touchdown. I like that stuff. You know, I like it, you know, so. Reeves is in Canton. Yeah, he is. Thomas Garrett says 2015. That's when Josh Norman beat the hell out of us. You know, but I was arguing the fact that, you know, Dez wasn't at his full tip-top shape. He had the fifth metatarsal gone on his foot and something like that. He couldn't get his lick back. And Luke Kuechly was Tony Romo number one wide receiver in that game. I'll never forget that game. Luke Kuechly had like 2 touchdowns, a reception, nigga. He had a whole bunch of stuff. And he was just scoring all over. Ooh, did I say a cuss word? My bad, y'all. I was just in my tone. But it is for what it is. Luke Kuechly was whooping. And then from there, I think in 2016 or 17, that's when Josh Norman went to the Washington team, and he was taking all this stuff in, talking about he going to do this, and we ended up beating the brakes off of him. I think that had to be 2017. What we need the Super Bowl victory. We do. We know. Ice Cold said, oops. Yeah. One thing I can say, they can't cancel me. If I was on the other side, boy, I'd be having a hard day and a hard time. You know? I'd be like, hey, wait a minute. I'm not racial.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
I can say it, but don't one of y'all other people say it now. They'll follow this channel now. I can say it. Oh, my gosh, man. But neither here nor there, man, did we have a great time all together, man. If y'all can do me a huge favor, hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond and get things moving in a great possible way for all of us. And on top of that, for those who asking, I had a great Father's Day, to the point whereas I got a unlimited of socks and drawers over here, and I'm gonna have some good time with them socks and drawers over here on my side. So appreciate everybody, man, for y'all support. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. And like I say, boy, you can't get wrong with socks and drawers, man. Shoot, no matter what they feel like, you know. Yeah, you know, I wear church socks year round, for those who know me. And boxers are brief. I'm a boxer brief guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Haynes, run me that check. I'm giving y'all free advertisers, man. Advertisement. But I got tagless boxer briefs. This is the kind that I always wear. So tagless now. You don't want to tag. Jerry Jones says crusty socks. And thank everybody, man. These two who made me a father, I got to show them some love again. I appreciate them too. I go to the edge of the earth for these beautiful young ladies that I know for sure I got my shotgun ready and everything else going for me.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. 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 Shout out to my ladies, man. They say that prize fighter continue to swing even when he's down. They say the race is not to the swift nor the battle to the mighty, right? To he that endures. Write that one down. But ultimately, they say a good father, or it could say a great father, or wonderful father, not an absentee father, but a great one, a good one, wonderful one, leaves inheritance to his offspring. I know for right now at this moment, I'll probably be worth more dead than alive. From a financial aspect of it. But what's more valuable than money is time. And that's why I love to say that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. So what are you doing with your time? What are you growing with your time? I know a third of you guys spending 1 to 2 hours with me talking Cowboys. And if you are spending that length of time talking Cowboys with me, that means that your love and adulations without hesitations nor deviations to the matter is with the silver and blue and the star on the side of your helmet or your heart. Because there's not a day that you go without thinking of the Cowboys. So with that being said, if you are a die-hard Cowboy fan like I am, and a few others that's in the chat, I want you to spell the whole name out. I want you to spell it all the way out so I can see. The Dallas Cowboys. Because that's the beat of my heart that cries out that we want to accept nothing but the best. We're not accepting average, below average. We're not accepting those things. The Dallas Cowboys is where our heart is at and where it forever will be, this lifetime or the next. If we are in that series called The From, then you can send us back 1,000 times over and be reincarnated. And we still going to be representing and rocking silver and blue to the star on the side of the helmet. And a lot of people will shun us. They will sully us. They will spit upon us. They will talk bad about us for our love and adulation for the greatest in the nation. It's the Dallas Cowboys. There will be many people, many, not few, that will try to do the things that we do. We'll try to talk the vernacular that we talk. Try to move the way we move. Try to walk in spaces like we walk in spaces. There are going to be thousands of people that can witness the great that we bring to the table. PhD, poor, hungry, and determined. When I look down and I see the Dallas Cowboys, I know for sure the beat of our heart is crying Cowboys Nation, baby. And what else is crying out loud for everything, baby? Is our soul, heart, and determination. And I need your support. Ask not what the Cowboys can do for you, but what you can do for the Cowboys is send Law Nation out here to Oxnard so that I can give you the best quality report that God can ever send a troop to be a messenger for his people, and that is sending me off. And I need your support. I ain't too proud to beg. So help me get to Oxnard. No matter way, form, shape, or happening, the best way that you can do it by hitting that share.com. Sharing is caring. Subscribing to the nation. Letting people know, that neighbor or that friend know, hey, I got this dude with the beard, man. Yeah, he's spitting nothing but great stuff about the Cowboys. I have to pull my umbrella out because he spits so heavily about the Cowboys. But at the end of all of his long-ass podcasts, he also leave us a message that we can go home to. We need a place where we can kick it, a place where we belong. Tired of getting shot at and chased by the police and arrested, the 3-letter, the 4-letter network. We need a spot where we can kick it, baby. A spot where we can be crunk and be in our lane. Let me see some blue hearts in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. And write this down while you put the blue hearts in the chat for your boy, Law Nation. Yes, write it down. Don't turn my music off. Write it down while I wipe the sweat. I'm not talking to you until I get sweat off of my forehead. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night to give up your time, all your time, and your peace and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you escape and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plant, or to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the things you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity with faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or the poverty or the famine or fame or the sickness of body or brain can turn you away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, I love it, boy, when I see them blue hearts in the chat. Now let me see some white hearts in the chat, or silver, however you want to call them, because I need them hearts too. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboys Nation, you will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, You're listening to nothing but the best. God bless you. DC for life. That's been my time. We about now. Where my song at? Give me my theme music. Now it's time to roll.
I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I
stretch.
Tell 'em run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely.
Come on.
To a savage, now my baby
what them blue and white hearts said, man? Is there a heart in the house tonight?
I find out you tried to zone me.
Don't zone me, baby.
I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady.
Yeah.
The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy.
Come on.
Put in my hours, send the invoice, and they pay me.
I need how many?
I need 6 rings like MJ.
I need 6 of them, match it up with MJ.
I wake up, flex,
come on.
Down that check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no
TA, she a Knicks fan, man. She a Knicks fan.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, down that check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
Come on.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I
stretch.
Tell 'em run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out.
Come on, baby, to Oxnard.
Yeah, come through in a hurry.
Yeah, I see you, Kerry.
Boys don't come to play, you should get worried.
One
false
Nigel.
Find yourself, they getting buried.
Yeah,
That's
come
what
on.
The devil used to love playing those games.
Shout out to you,
Made some
Davies.
bad
See you
decisions
next
that
month,
brought my
man.
mama
Come
pain.
on.
I
Not
made
mine.
a promise to her, swore that I would change.
Yeah.
I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my
Name. Yeah.
I wake up,
Law.
thumb down that
Nation.
no drip, this
Tell them.
run it
All
up.
right.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck.
If you didn't like this show,
Tell 'em run it up.
shout out to the Nordics, man. The Insectoids, man. Y'all send me a few dollars, Insectoids. Also, shout out to the Grays, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, let's slow it down just a little bit. The longest outro in the land, longer than Shaq feet. Come on. Jerry, let me get inside that booth, man. You know, pause, pre-pause, that box you be in. Let me hit that box a few times. Let me get in the middle of the field, man. Come on, man. Come on, Jerry. I see you in the chat. Yep. Shout out to the Tartarians and the Law Nations. The Law Tartarians. Come on. Shame on you, TA. You a Knicks fan. One love to you, man. She said she gonna unsubscribe and then subscribe again. Shout out to you, baby. It's dangerous. Ones that said pause on getting inside that box now, Lola. Come on, man. Jerry Jones says in the chat, I'll send you an owner's VIP guest pass. Come on, man. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to say nothing but nice things about you. You let Jamie Foxx get up there and he outed you. I would never, Jerry. Richard, shout out to you, Facebook Kang over there. Come on with it. 7 Wonders. Come on, baby. Shout out to you. Let the street lights hit you. TA said, Jerry gonna try to measure you. Measure my meat, huh? Come on with it, Jerry. Don't do that to me.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly,
What's your point?
then forever doesn't
TA,
feel
we had to bring you up into that box. Pause if necessary.
Let me crack
If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
In the words.
It's an evil world we live in.
Oh my God. The Nordics, baby. And the Grays. How you notice the FBI, the CIA, they left out all of the brother aliens, man. So who are the brother aliens? You mean to tell me there is no brother aliens out there that listens to boomboxes, got afros? And cornrows? Come on, man. Come on, man. Where my African American aliens at, man? They got the Nordics.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
They got them damn Nordics looking like Lord of the Rings or one of them, like Gandalf's around here.
I'm still them boys. Call and check on me.
Ice Cold says that the brother aliens might be too tall.
Them boys. I'm still
The Anunnakis are the brothers, I guess. And they cast out.
check on the pastor.
All I ask.
Still them boys.
Yeah. I'm canceled now. I'm gonna have some Nordics knocking on the door. They gotta bend down to get inside though. You know they too tall, man. I guess Shaq must be half Nordic, is he? Wemby got to be Nordic. He gotta have some Nordic DNA, something like that, in his genes or something. But hey, it is for what it is.
Sacrifice. Don't give up the fight. Everything will be
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
On any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you.
If you
win or lose, you know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday, yeah.
Oh, until next time, man. DC for life. If we offended anyone, you just offended. Now, if you a part of this crew right here, then much love to you because we love offending y'all.
We looking great. Go Birds. Let's go Birds. E-L-D-S-E-S-E-S.
It's a damn shame. What happened to Eric Old Head Young Bull? Y'all didn't block him, did you? Got that lightning hit that bird on his chest. Come on with it, man. We the best, baby. Let's go. The next era is here. Dallas Cowboys. Let's get it. Peace.